Okay, guys, it's been a while since I did like a Crafter's Companion type card. Well, I did that easel card, I guess that wasn't too long ago, but long enough ago that I feel like this is something I haven't gotten into in a while. So today I'm going to try out these little guys. I recently picked this up off of HSN. I'll have the links in the description box for you guys. Those would be affiliate links, which means I would make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. So I just opened it up. They are super cute. And from the reviews, you know, people were saying that they were kind of upset that this is a stencil and not a die, and that they thought it was going to be a die, but it's stencil pieces. So we're going to work with that today. I was looking at this and I'm like, oh, the aperture. I'm like, oh no, the aperture does have a die, so that's nice. Okay, so we have that. You are going to have to cut these other pieces, you know, but everything's there for it. And this one being on top, it's just adorable. Like when I looked at it, I'm like, oh yeah. Oh, the fairy's so cute too, though. And you can mix and match these things. And then little woodland creatures. Oh. Ay. I was going to go with these little guys today, so I'm going to stick with that. Super cute. It's a pack of 3. Hopefully it's still available, but like I said, I'll have the link for you guys if it's still available. So we're just going to get started. I mean, I guess I could talk a little bit about what this is. Oh, and then we have to decorate the front, huh? Well, this is going to take longer than I thought. It might take a little longer than I thought. It makes like a little box card, so it's like a little scenery. Basically like any other pop-up box card that you might make, and you can flatten it out and send it off, right? I assume, as far as flattening it. But I forgot that you had to decorate the front. We'll see what happens. I don't know if I'm going to freeform Friday this one. Oh my goodness. Okay, I see why people were upset. I thought the stencil was going to be plastic. It's paper. Oh, that's kind of a bummer, you guys. Like seriously, am I gonna cut this? Yeah, I can see why that's just... Okay, well guess what? I don't think I'm gonna use these. Okay, that is upsetting. That is a little bit kind of a bummer. I thought it was going to be plastic, at least. Using the template sheet, include trace and cut 2 of the box and 1 of the door using strong cardstock. These blue lines indicate your score lines. Score and burnish these. Oh my gosh. That's not even like a possible thing to do with thick cardstock. You can't see through this. Or if you, I guess you can write on this and it'll burnish it through to the paper. Does that make sense? Like if you had, I brought out some paper that I was going to use for the thickness of it, but maybe it's a waste on this project. But it's the ultra smooth cardstock from Crafter's Companion. Actually, this one's not even that thick. I might switch out my paper choice, but what I'm trying to say is if you go over it. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to measure these things and then just cut them with my board. The only one that's going to be different is this one, but we can just make that up, I guess. Yeah, that is kind of a bummer. So basically you're paying for a stamp and die set, a little stamp and die set. So this is 4 and 5/8. I'm going to write this down. 4 and 5/8. This way. And it is 3 and... What is this? Let me see. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's what I thought. 3 and 15/16 in this direction. And it looks like it's scored at, it better be a nice number. It's not really a nice number, but let's say 5/8. That is going to throw something off, I know. I'm going to measure this and tell you what the measurements are when I come back. Okay, so after measuring this, it's 6 1/4 inches from here to here. It's scored at 4 inches and it's scored at 6 inches. And it's like to split the difference between 6 inches and right before 6 inches, just a little bit. Since it's at the edge, I'm not going to worry about that too much. And so that makes sense that this is 4 and 5/8. You score it at 5/8. So this is 4 inches here. And this is 4 inches here. Okay, I hope that makes sense, right? See, they're about the same. And then just a little side piece or whatever it is. You make 2 of this one. And these guys, I'm assuming, are also 4 inches and maybe 1/2 inch on either side. We'll talk about that in a minute. For right now, I'm going to get my cutter. I'm going to cut 4 and 5/8 inch by okay, it says 3/15/16. Let's make it easy. Let's say 4 inches because it doesn't matter. The height doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. It's the widths that you really want to make sure they're the same because you want your box to work. So I'm just going to cut it 4 5/8 by 4, 6 1/4 by 4. Okay, and I'll be right back. That's kind of a bummer, but okay, whatever. So again, these are all 4 inches. You need one of the, what are they calling it? Door template. So 4 inches by 4 5/8, and then 2 of the box templates, which are 6 1/4 by 4. So, I mean, we could have, this is the kind of thing you can do with any stamps and dies you have. If they're cute little ones or even bigger, it doesn't matter. I mean, this is definitely something, just like any other time I've shown you guys how to make something by hand. That's basically what they're asking you to do here. So, this one we're going to score at 5/8 inch. This is the, door template, I guess. So 5/8 of an inch, which basically means we're going to score it at 4 inches because it was 4 5/8. So 4 inches in leaves you this little piece here. And I think, does she even divot it? No. Oh, what's funny is here, it doesn't show that it's divoted. Here, this one is. But in the instructions, they all have a little notch taken out, which wasn't on this drawing. So that's fine. So we're just going to get this guy. I was not planning on this today, but that's okay. I mean, if we'd run through a die, that would have been nice. Or if there was a set that just has the die, right, for the box, that would have been great. All right, so that's that one. I'm not, you know, I'm not going to bone fold it yet because it could be that they're a little bit off, right, since I had to do my own measurements. And on this one, on these guys, they're 4 inches by 6 1/4. And we are going to score them at 4 inches and score them at 6 inches. So at 4 inches and at 6. And that leaves that little bit there. And again, we're just going to cut that little wedge off of here. And then on one of these, we need to cut an aperture. So I'm going to do another one just like this, and I'll be right back. Okay. So to be honest, that wasn't too bad. It's just kind of a bummer because it's like a shock. And I was like, oh, you know, people were saying that it doesn't have, like, it has a stencil. Oh, it doesn't even have that. So this is something that you can definitely just make up off the top of your head. Like I do when I just use my math, you know. But I'm not going to bend this one quite yet. So we have these guys. These are our 3 pieces. So the next thing in the instructions is to take one of the box pieces, which is these guys, and then cut your aperture. So what's kind of interesting about this is that if I want to cover this with a piece of paper to be cute, which is definitely what I want to do, I want to make sure that my paper is the same. So this is 4 by 4. So this is a 4 by 4 area. I'm going to cut a little piece of paper to cover this that is a 3 7/8 inch square. I'll be right back. So I have this little tiny square. Well, it's not really tiny, but I don't know. It has a very small allowance. I'm going to glue it down. I'm going to cut it all at once, which is not typically what I would do. And you know what? Since I'm going to do that, maybe I should use a dry glue. So I'm going to go in here and just do this. Normally what I would do is just center the die in here, center it on the other thing, and then hope that they would work out. Or sometimes I might mark it or whatever it is. But for now, I'm just going to do this on one of these guys. What I'm trying to figure out is how deep is this? It's going to go this way. Let me see something in the instructions on the next part. Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to see which one goes this direction. Okay, so we're good. Most of this is going to get cut away. But again, I did a 3 7/8 inch square to just nest in there. A little bit crooked. That's the danger of using a dry glue for me. Oh, hey, I found this. I found this. On my small guillotine, I lost this thing a long time ago, I thought, and apparently I put it in a safe space. Safe space? Safe place? Whatever. Okay, we have this guy, and it doesn't matter. I guess it goes this way. It could go this way too, but it's kind of weird. So we're going to go like this. I'm going to tape that. I'm going to run it through. I think this can go through the marquee because it's only 4 inches wide. So I'm just trying to straighten that out. Oh, you know, I'm going to put this facing in because this is going to stay, but this is going to get removed. So if it's, for some reason, pulls some of that paper, I don't care so much. Okay, I'm going to run this to the marquee. I'll be right back. Okay. Cute. I'm going to use that for something else. Okay. Now, I like to score things ahead of time. So we're just going to give that a score, give this a score. And I'm not going to bone fold it until everything is put together. That way, whatever little give it might need, we can do that. Adhere the door panel tab to the panel you have just cut your aperture into. Affix the tab on this aperture panel to your second box panel. It should look like this. That's really thick. Hopefully that's not what they mean. You know what I'm saying? That's not good. Hold on. I'm assuming it's like this. Right? Oh, I see. Well, I don't think it really matters which side you put that on, and I don't think that should be a 1/2 inch. If that's what they want you to do, because it says adhere the door panel tab to the panel you just created. You guys know I haven't been watching a lot of these shows, so it's hard to tell on here. Let me think about this one. And I'll be right back. Because see how this is just a 1/4 inch, so it tucks in there, right? You don't see it. But since this is a 1/2 inch panel, you know, that's going to be quite visible. And then it says to make sure this is sandwiched between these things. So, like, how's that even possible? But I think it means to be over here. And then you stick these all together like this. This does not need to be 1/2 inch. It needs to be a 1/4 inch. That would make sense. Right? Okay, so I'm going to take some off of this. And I'm just going to eyeball it. But yeah, that shouldn't be 1/2 inch. I love that we took all the time to discover that. And now that makes sense. Because they want you to attach this to this. And I did it backwards. So hopefully you're seeing that this, where it's folded forward, is going to come up over this to cover that aperture, right? And then these guys create the box. And then once you come around here, it says to then attach that. Okay. I'm going to use wet glue because I like using wet glues, but I could just as easily use my ATG. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put the give on this outside. You know what I'm saying? Since I scored it, see how it has that bump? I'm going to make it so that this is towards the inside of that bump because that'll give us some room for when we close it up that it actually closes the whole front. You don't see this back piece. Okay, so front, that's nice, that we kind of cut into, that I scored. This is the back that's kind of cut. Our aperture goes around this way. We have this tab. Now this tab is going to glue onto this little guy. All right, so there's already a correction to that. You know, the little instruction as far as the sizing. Again, these are all different pieces of paper. Oh, they didn't finish making my fence yesterday. So I hear some tools out there right now. Now, okay, again, go this way. We're going around, tab. And then it says to make sure when you glue this that you sandwiched this. And it's there, so it's going to be sandwiched, right? I mean, it's already there. Very cute. I mean, I could have made this by hand. Come up with it myself. It is very thick though, like this thickness, I didn't expect that. I'm trying to see what makes sense as far as, yeah. And I'm just holding it, but I suppose if you want to lay it down you can give it a squish. Okay, so I think that is the main thing. Cute. Didn't take too long. I mean, it's just that, you know, working out the kinks, and now I know it is what it is or how they want you to do it. It makes sense. I'm assuming the next part is just decorating and putting in your little pieces. So let's check that out. Finally, adhere the last tab to the back of the aperture, ensuring the door is sandwiched. So we just did, that's number 5. And number 6, using the seam dividers on the template sheet, trace and cut one of each. The blue lines indicate your score lines. And you see it says trace and cut one of each, right? That's 3 things that they show here, and this one's way different. Where is that third one? I'll do 2 of this one and then just flip one. I'm not going to pay attention to this, though. What I want to know about this, though, is... Because who knows? Like I said, it's probably maybe 5 inches or something because... Yeah, it's just a little bit less than 5 inches because we need this 4-inch space right here. Actually, this is less than 4 inches. That's weird. Hold on. This is just over 4 inches. And this is, the score here to here is under 4 inches. That doesn't make sense. It needs to be at 4. I'm gonna make this part up because it's basically ½ inch, tab here, tab here. So 5-inch strips that are scored at ½ inch on either side. So that leaves 4 inches in the middle here. And this one's the same. I just want to see how tall this is. Oh yeah, let's say how tall these are. This is 7/8 of an inch tall. So 5 by 7/8, 5 by an inch and 1/8 because I'm gonna trim my own little thing. So I'll be right back with 5 7/8 and then one of those and 2 that are 5 by an inch and 1/8. I'll be right back. This is kind of ugh. Okay, so on this one all I'm gonna do is score in ½ inch on each side because this is just the 7/8 by 5. So I'll score a ½ inch on either side. And on this one, I'm just putting 2 of them together. They're not even like super lined up. It doesn't really matter. We're gonna take a little bit. Again, this is like 1 1/8 or whatever. And then make like a little hilly scene. And I'm just going across here to here. Doesn't really matter. It's not the greatest swoosh, but that's okay. And one will be like this and one will be like this. What else are you gonna do? I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna score these also in ½ inch on either side. And I have a good eye because I was like, oh, it's about ½ inch in that you need to start, you know, doing something. And there it is. So like I said, I'll have one going one way, one going the opposite way. Let's have this one going this way. It doesn't really matter. Okay. I was just looking at the side that I cut that's nicer, so at least one side has a nice cut on it. And then it doesn't really tell you, it just says to like layer it in there however you like, and it says to create a perspective. I don't know if some needs to be higher or lower because the one that's just straight is kind of boring. Where's the package cover of this one? Okay, that's not the same. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I mean, and then they use like colored paper, you know, whatever you like. Let's see. And then you're gonna stick your little creatures and stuff in. So for me, honestly, I would plan it out first, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like if this was way down low, this would cover it. You wouldn't even see it, but it's there to give you a space to put something on, right? So it doesn't really matter as far as that, but I feel like they need to be down here. Okay, so let's say I stick this one here, and it doesn't really tell you where to put them, since this is, how deep is this? This is 2 inches deep. So I'm just gonna put wet glue. Okay. Now you don't want to work on me? Let's see here. There we go. Oh, come on, buddy. There we go. Ooh, no, too much. Okay. Let's put that there, and let's get some over here. And let's put the lid on this. All right. So again, I'm going to start down here. It's like a 1/4 inch in. I mean, I don't know. No, it's not. It's more than that. I need to move this. I need to move this. No, no, no. No, no, no. Deluxe adhesive. It's deluxe, and it will set up on you really fast. Probably go a little bit further in than I did, but that's okay. It's about a 1/4 inch in, because that means the first seam thing is going to be right here, you know, right in front. But that's okay. All right, we have that. And then I guess I'll use the straight one. I don't know. I have not bone folded this because, again, we're going to give it a good squish. And I guess I'll go in from down here. Again, I feel like this needs to be just kind of flat, but I'll pick it up just a little bit, just so that you can kind of see it behind here. And I'm putting it in kind of right behind that 1/2 inch, right behind that last tab. So that's about a 1/2 inch in, I guess. And then our last one. So again, this is literally, I think I even made a card, a Z-fold card that was just like this. It's just adding these little strips inside. So it's kind of like a pop-up box card. And then from in here, I'm not even going to look at this one because it's what it is. So I'm just going to put this one in. Give myself a little bit of space. I don't know. Maybe we'll raise this one up just a little bit. If I wasn't using deluxe adhesive, it's already stuck down. That is done. Now, since this is kind of like a little bears and they're having like a little party, I mean, you could have done like maybe some green or something else. I'm just trying to get this down for this first video. There it is. Super cute. You can look from the top. And then when we want to send it off, this is the part, the moment of truth. I'm going to close it and give it a really good squish. And you can do this in both directions, but you know, it's up to you how you would send it off. I really would stick to one direction because what happens is once you do it this way, the other direction is going to have shifted on you. So just give it that good squish at this point. That way everything is doing what you want. And when your recipient opens it up, the little box opens up. All right, now we got to do our little characters. So, is that what they recommend here? Stamp, color, and die cut your chosen characters and elements for your scene, and then adhere them here and there. I did think they did scallop some of these, because if you can kind of tell, this is lower, this looks a little bit higher, but I just did it all flat, basically, so, oh well. Actually, I could tear some of these out and do it again. I'm okay with it. And so, what do I have? These little cuties, I love them. We definitely have to do this guy. And maybe this little dude. I'll probably just stamp everything because I don't know what I want to stamp. So again, I'll get that fancy stamping paper. I've done things before where I stick this whole thing on something and then I I let it stamp. Oh, something stayed over here. By the way, these are just acrylic stamps. They're not photopolymer. I don't remember this kit being expensive, and that's probably part of the reason because, you know, you have to do kind of the work yourself, but yeah, again, you can do this with pretty much anything you already have in your stash. So I'm gonna use this little guy. Oh, what a cutie. Oh, these are adorable. That's pretty much why I bought it. I read the reviews and they weren't great, but I was like, I really love this stamp set and the little fairies and stuff, so I picked it up anyway. All right, this is actually a good time to do this because I hear these guys out here and you can probably hear them now. They just paused, but I'm going to stamp all these guys. I'm going to get whatever alcohol ink markers. Oh no! Is it worth stamping again? Should I just finish it with a... Sometimes when things like that happen, I'll just grab like my things like this and I'll just finish it off. And it's probably going to be tucked in there anyway. You know what I'm saying? In the... Not the greatest. I could have taken more time, but I just want to show you kind of quickly what I do in that situation. And that's a micron pen. They're archival ink, so like they are not going to smear either. Take this little guy. Aw. So with these outline dies, you don't really have to be too harsh with them. I know a lot of times I want to press down really hard, but like they just need a little kissy. Okay, I'll do these too. So I stamped up all these little things. Oh, I did not ink the top of that. Gosh darn it. You know what it is? It's because I'm already like, what is going on with this? And so then I am not in the mood. And I start overlooking things. All right. Let's see here. What else? We have the little gifts. All right, I'll stamp the little gift just in case, but I don't know if I'll do it. Like, I don't even know where I would put the gifts on the floor because the little table's already taken, you know. All right. Okay, well, I'm just going to color these in. I don't think that this review is basically about coloring, but so I'm just going to color them right quick and I'll be back. Okay, so in coloring my little bears, I just did a lot of circular kind of weird motions to kind of look like fur, like they have texture basically, so it's not a real smooth coloring I did on them. And then on the balloons, I just try to make it look as translucent as I can. Okay, so that is as much as I'm willing to do. I knew the coloring would take a little time and those kind of things, but I did not expect a handmade box, to be honest. All right. Okay, so I'm going to just... Oh goodness, do I want to make apertures for each and every one of these? I might. Okay, not from this paper, maybe from this paper. So all that means is I'm going to take little scraps of paper and run them through so I can see exactly where we're cutting. Sorry about that drilling or screw driving, I don't know. The fence looks really nice though, so that's great. You know, like I said, I had termites here and there in the house and up in the rafters and I guess outside. And that fence is super old. I mean, it was just like so gross. So I'm like, okay. So my neighbor's like, maybe this is a good time to get rid of that fence so we don't bring any more. I'm like, yeah, that'd be great. So that was good. Okay, I'm gonna cut this. And I probably shouldn't have tested my markers on the paper down here because now I can't really use that later because this paper's not inexpensive. But oh well. It's smooth marker paper. Let me cut this away. So when you make an aperture, I'll do this for every single one. All I do is open it up and then I can kind of see through here and see where I'm going to be cutting, and like that looks pretty perfect right there. You want to lay it back down so that this is definitely in that groove, because if it's moved over then there was no point in making an aperture because then it's not going to be in the right place. I usually put a little more tape, but this I think I'm just going to hold it, so it should work. We're almost done, guys. It's going to be super cute, but I was just like, wow. And I haven't even decorated the front of it, which I probably won't, to be honest. Well, at least not right now. Look at that. Okay, so I'll do that with all of them, basically. I'll be back. Oh, I forgot to cover the little pouch. To color that pouch, I will do that. So that's my little cutout. So cute. Oh, adorable. I know this is going to be cute. It just, you know, wasn't what I expected. It's so funny though, because I'm like, oh yeah, people said I had stencil. I'm like, well, okay, so what's the big deal? Like, no, it didn't even have a stencil really, but okay. So now in here, we just gonna, you know, you can build up your little scene. I don't know what I want to do. This little guy's like, hey, and I didn't color that still. Oh, well, you know what? I have this marker sitting here for whatever reason. And I'm just gonna concentrate more color like in this middle section. And that way it'll look like it was colored on purpose that way. There's this little guy. I was thinking if I put him on the outside, let me see, if I put that guy on the outside, let's say we put this guy here with his cake. This is the part that I was kind of like, what do, put gifts just there, put this little guy back here, and then we can save him for the front. Okay, let me glue this one down first. Just putting a little glue on little feeties and stuff right here. He's kind of just up there. I kind of need that to happen, so I'm okay with that. Sorry about the hammering. I'm telling you guys, that's why yesterday I make a video and I know sometimes people are like, oh, it'll be fine, but no, it's not. Sorry about the hammering. And sometimes people say, I don't even hear that. And even my husband's like, I know a lot of times you'll mention like the guy's using the blower back there. You don't hear it in the video, but I think there are certain sounds that just break the barrier. Okay, let's just say those are there. And this little guy's going like, what's up? Way over here. Should I put him here? Oh yeah, he's gonna go right there. And then we'll put those balloons in the back. Oh my gosh. I want him kind of layered over these. Why is my finger's not reaching? Okay, there we go. I'm like, how high up is this? My finger couldn't quite get there. What's cute about this design though is that I know sometimes with like pop-up boxes, when you lay it down, you're still looking at the design a lot of times, or it depends on if you want to put the flap up or leave them down when you close it. So it looks funky, you know, so a lot of times you have to pay attention to the design plus all that the other elements, but this, it's covered, so it doesn't really matter what happens when it lays down, right? Still looks cute though. And then we'll just put a little balloon back here. Yeah, that's all. I'm doing for this one. I mean, we can obviously deck it out with more balloons and more gifts and more of everything, but I'm just gonna pop this up here. I love that the balloon has that little weight pouch on it. So cute. Let me see. I might need to move them over just a little bit this way before I let it really stick. Oh my gosh, you guys. And then of course you can have lined this with another color, with like little wallpaper looking paper, which would be really adorable. This is still kind of wet, so I don't want to squish it down. I did cut another piece because it just came off of that paper, a 3 7/8 inch square. And then you can also color this or cover that area if you wanted to. So what I think is what I'll do is put this little guy, even though he looks lonely, and I'm going to stamp, "No one deserves a happier birthday than you. Let's celebrate, enjoy all the fuss. Yay." I'm going to stamp this on one of these little beige pieces of paper. And it'd be cute to cut out with like a cute shape. I was actually thinking, I'm like, oh, I can use the other side of this, that beige piece, but we glued it together, remember? Okay, I glued it together. Oh, how about if we still had that and then this still, ooh, texture on texture? Okay, let's do that. You know, I'm becoming a fan of that kind of thing. So we will do that just so that this doesn't go to waste. It's really sturdy. So I'm going to glue this down very carefully since we already have something else going on back there. That's cute. Let's make sure that's on there nicely. Again, just because it's wet. If it wasn't wet, I would just, well, I'll still do it, but let's not stick our little guys down. Okay, so we have that. I'm going to go ahead and stamp this just with some black ink. I guess I can do that with you guys. Pick that up. And again, sentiment. That's a really nice, crisp image, even for the small letters and everything. I like that. I'm trying to be a little less juicy with ink. A lot of times when you get a lot of juicy ink and you go to stamp it, it like will come out and it's not the best. So I would cut this with a cute shape, but now that I have the other piece, let's just pretend this is my guillotine. I'm just eyeballing this and hopefully I'm doing it kind of straight. And get close to that. Boom. Sorry about the noise. That's a little bit crooked. I'm going to work on this just to get that little, where it's crooked right here. I'm just going to cut that with my scissors, pay more attention, and I'll be right back. This kind of quick and easy, and it's not because they're hammering. It's definitely because these guys are hammering. I just want to get done with this now. Sorry, guys. Okay, we're going to put that there. Kind of an interesting sentiment. It doesn't really say happy birthday. It just says, "No one deserves a happier birthday than you." I like it. Now I'm thinking maybe it's better for like the inside of the card, you know? Like, happy birthday, and then the second thing is to say, "No one deserves happier birthday than you." I don't know. Oh, this little guy with his little belly. Oh my gosh. I love him. And then this can all be popped up out here. So, and I have lots of this stuff left here. So what I'm going to do is just cut this. There's still one there. So let's not take that. I love to use what I can. Especially with something big like this. Now, if you peek behind there, you are definitely going to see that this stuff is just kind of there and weird, but hopefully people aren't peeking too much, or they're going to tell you, "Hey, I noticed the dimensional adhesive on the back. It's really weird. Were you recycling? Reducing your waste?" Yes. All right. Aww. You know what's funny? I didn't line this up. It's almost perfect from what was there before. That would have been... If I was planning this from the beginning, I would have cut the paper so it's basically the same. But we're almost there. That's cool. I'm just opening it up so I can give it a good squish. All right, guys. There's our little card. Took a little elbow grease. We got it done. Again, I suppose you can just make this from scratch yourself, which is basically what I did. You can probably add another layer even in the back if you wanted. There's room for probably one more little layer there. So, you know, your recipient gets this. Oh, happy birthday. No one No, it didn't even say happy birthday. Maybe it'd be cute to put happy birthday on the side here. Like if I'd covered this and then also added like a sentiment here. Cute. And then when I open it up, they get out of their envelope. Oh, it's a little scene that is super adorable. I love it. I'm happy. I just wasn't expecting to do this much work. And let's see, when it's squished down, you guys probably want to know that. It is 6 inches tall and 4 inches wide. It is a standard A4 size, which is very smart. I might redo something like this for you guys in an A2 size, but you guys get the gist. I mean, all you have to do is just kind of change up the numbers, and that's really cute. Really cute. Yes, it's a bummer that it's only paper, but maybe that's how they looked at it too. They're like, you know what, you can probably just do that on your... I don't know. Like I said, they weren't super expensive, so, you know. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll have the pictures. Super cute. I'm really happy to have it. I just, you know. Took a little work I wasn't expecting this morning. All right, guys. I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.